Hey there, Illustrator lovers. It is time for CC Libraries. Okay, we've ignored it. It's this panel over here next to properties. I've ignored it this whole course. Now it's time to get to grips with it, find out all the perks, the colors, the free images, the sharing. It's great. Let's go and learn how to do CC Libraries now. All right, so it's time for libraries. Now, if you can't see your libraries, go to the Libraries tab. If you can't see it still, go to Window, go down to Libraries. Now, I've been purposefully avoiding libraries during this course. I guess it's hard to know when to squeeze everything in, but it's time for libraries now. Now, by default, you've probably got a My Library. Okay, at the top here, if you're a heavy user like me, you've got lots of libraries. Okay, so we're going to start by creating a library. My library's gets full of junk like my one does. Okay, so let's say I'm working with a new client. I'm going to click on this and we're going to go to Create New Library. Okay, and in here it says Create New Library, and I'm going to give it a name. Say it's a client name. I'm working for myself, Daniel Scott. Click Create. There's nothing in here. What goes in there? It's quite clear. Drag and drop. So I've got this fox here. I'm going to drag and drop them in. Also know that I'm working from the CC Libraries file. You can open it or just work on your own files. It's up to you. Now I've got this thing, called Artwork 1. I'm going to double click it and call it Fox. Cool. So I've got a bit of artwork. Now, why is this useful? It means that if I open up a new document in Illustrator, completely new one, it doesn't matter. This library's still active. I can drag it out and start using it. There it is there. Awesome, huh? Okay. What's also really nice about it is I can go out to, it's missing a chunk. Why is it missing a chunk? I just didn't grab it when I dragged it across. So it's part of a fox. Okay, so what I'd like to do now is show you kind of one of the perks is that it's across software. So if I open up Photoshop and I want to use my fox, my part fox in here, I can go to my CC Libraries. Okay, so I'm going to go to Window and go to Libraries. Where are you there? Libraries. And up the top here, I've got all my libraries, and there's that new one called Daniel Scott. And there's my half a fox. I can drag him in, okay, and position him, return, and it's brought it through. It's vector, it's awesome. You can do it the other way as well. Okay, I can click on this background image, and because Photoshop's more of an image processing program, it'd be more appropriate to be dragging images into the library from Photoshop. Gonna click him, drag him, there he goes there. This is my bike. Awesome. And now if I go to Illustrator, I've got my bike, and I can drag it out and start using it. Okay, so same with InDesign. If I go to InDesign and open up a new document, CC Libraries, here it is there. Daniel Scott, there these guys are here. I can drag them into this. Now I use this for After Effects, all of these, XD, Animate, Muse, Dreamweaver to a degree, definitely Premiere and After Effects, not so much Character Animator, but lots of these ones. Okay, Dimension, really good for using CC Libraries, nice interconnection. Another big perk for it is, say we've used it in a few products now, I'm going to go to Illustrator, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on the library item. Because I started over here, okay, first of all I'm going to copy the bits that I lost. Okay, actually I'm going to grab the whole thing, copy it. And so this is not connected anymore. That was kind of like the parent had created this guy here, Fox, but they're no longer connected. So if I adjust this, it doesn't change this one at all. Okay, but if I double click Fox, it'll open up in Illustrator. I'm going to add the rest of my fox. I'm going to select all, delete him. Okay, add the rest of my fox, get him to fit in the little box he's got. Hit save. And hopefully now, actually let's do some other adjustments. Let's do some color. Where are you, color? There we go. I'm just going to use color, and we've got partially blue dog. And I'm going to jump out to InDesign, Magic, Photoshop, Magic. They're all adjusting, so it's really handy if you've got a graphic that needs to be consistent across lots of designs, maybe a logo. There are times though where you don't update, please. Okay, and the way to get around that is in all of the programs is when you're dragging out of the library, hold down the Option key on a Mac or the Alt key on a PC. And what that does is it breaks the link. So now if I go back into Illustrator, okay, I'm still in that editable. You kind of know you're in the editable one either by double clicking it, or it's got this kind of crazy name. Okay, so I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to undo it, put it back to what it was, hit save, and jump back into Photoshop. And you'll notice that that one updated down here, but this one didn't because I used the Alt or Option when I dragged it out. And that's true of all of the programs, InDesign, Illustrator, After Effects, any of them. Just hold down the Option or Alt key and that will break the link. Other cool things you can do is from any of the programs, okay, but let's say this one here, I want these Fox colors to use them for different products, right? So I can select on this chunk and I'm gonna go down here and I got the option of adding the graphic. Like instead of dragging it in, you can click on add graphic this way. I don't wanna add the graphic, I've already got it. What I want to do is add the fill color, and it's actually a swatch. You can see there, it's got its hexadecimal number. I'm gonna go through you, I wanna add, yep. Can't work out how to do it all in one big go yet. I don't think you can. Okay, so I'm just going to individually click on the different pieces. Those are all the colors I want to use. And it means that again, like in Photoshop, here's the colors. I can start working using these ones across them all. Another cool thing you can do is you can jump to color.adobe.com. I'm going to jump to it now. Now for me, for some reason, when I sign in today of all days when I'm recording, it doesn't want to log me in, okay? For some reason, just with Adobe Color. But when you are logged in, you can find a color that you like. So I'm at color.adobe.com and I've gone to explore and it's great. Find colors, click download. And when you log in, it says, would you like to save it to a library? And you say yes, and you pick your Daniel Scott library and it downloads it and it magically appears in here. Okay, like some of my other libraries. Let's have a look, MF. Okay, you can see there's some of the colors, okay, that I got in here. Okay, so it'll just appear there. Trust me. Now another cool perk for using CC libraries, I'm going to go back to our file here, click on this text once, and down on the plus button here, I can add the text. I could add it as a graphic, and it'll just be like a picture of the text, whereas this is actually the raw text. I can click add, and it means that I can go to some of these other documents here and drag it out, and not only is it a picture of text, but it's kind of like restylable, reshaped. You can see it's a editable text. It might be good for something like, I use it mainly for things like terms and conditions, or something like our address that I use quite often. Okay, so yeah, that could be handy. Same with this, there's an also like this text fill is actually a strange gray color that I use, so I can add that as well. You can name your colors if you like. Another perk for the libraries is up here in this like little hamburger menu, click on him, and there's one that says collaborate. And that's cool because I get to share it with other people from Adobe, or not from Adobe, other Adobe users. So say I've got people that I work with, other designers, I can go to that and share them this library. We all work from the same library. You can kind of tell, say stock images I share with one of my colleagues. You can see the double head there, same with Adobe logos. Because we as a company, we're a certified training center, so we all share some of these colors and all these logos. So one person just adds them to the library, we all get to share them. Okay, it's perfect. One last thing, and it's not technically the libraries, but it's kind of all tied together with the amazing Creative Cloudness, is up here on my Mac, this Creative Cloud icon. If you're on a PC, it's kind of in the bottom right somewhere. Okay, so I've got this one, and we're going to go to Assets, we're going to go to Market. This is really handy for Illustrator, okay, because these are commercial use images, okay, that Adobe have given to us that I can use for my business for free, okay, and they're just really good Illustrator style stuff. So mainly good for things like logos and icons. So say I need a picture, I've got to draw a picture of a house. I don't know why it came to mind. But you can see in here all of this stuff ready to go. Okay, and you can scroll down, and actually there's a load of houses in here. So find the style you want. Okay, you could obviously draw one pretty easily, but let's say we want this house, click on it. What you're really looking for is that it's not a JPEG. You're looking for one that's an SVG. That's the kind of scalable vector graphic. It's something that Illustrator likes. If it's a JPEG, it's kind of mainly for something like Photoshop where it's kind of pixels, but SVG is the magic one. Click download, it's going to say what library, click on that one, and magically over here, hopefully, if I go to Daniel Scott, there's my house. Okay, it's an SVG, and I can drag it out. Okay, and it's check out this. If I drag him over here, he's all bits and pieces. So I might right click him, I can ungroup him. We're going to run into that problem we had a little earlier. He's still not ungrouped. How do I break them apart? Okay, we could just go to Object and we get a compound path and release. Or grab the white arrow and I can just click on individual bits in here. Let's say the color, I want to change to one of these new, look at us, using all the library goodness, downloading stuff, changing the color with our library colors. Okay, and we can use those commercially. There's loads of stuff in there. Do searches, mainly for icons and kind of clip art style graphics. But there's a few other things in that market as well. One last thing for free icons, that's it for libraries, but there's one last thing, that market thing is amazing for icons. There's one other site I'd like to show you. It's this site here called Icon Finder. I use it quite a lot. The Adobe Market is brilliant, but this one here, say I need a house, it has one extra perk. Okay, first of all, there's some paid stuff. I'm gonna, like by default, it's any Okay, that's what it comes up with. So you could spend all of $2, okay, and get an icon. I go to vector because I want it to be ready for Illustrator, and I want it to be free. And the option down here is I want it to be no backlink. Okay, that means it's commercial use and I don't have to like attribute anybody. I can just use it. Okay, and in here, what I like, same kind of thing, lots of icons. But let's say I like this house here. I like this house. Okay, but when I click on it, if I scroll down a bit, it's often part of a larger icon group, and that's some really handy stuff. Okay, where there's a bunch of them that you can find and use. So Icon Finder is pretty cool. Adobe Market is brilliant. That is going to be it for CC libraries. They're pretty cool, huh? Bye now.